Now let's start from where we had stopped yesterday. So till here we had discussed yesterday in yesterday's class. So we will continue from here only. So we had already understood that the characteristics of the chemical reaction, what are the various characteristics of a chemical reaction. So let's quickly recall those things once again. The change in the state of a substance, change in the color of the substance, change in temperature, change in heat, absorption of heat, evolution of gas, and evolution of light and sound can be observed. Okay, so when the chemical reaction takes place, then we can observe either of these things going through there. So जब भी chemical reaction होता है तो हम लोग ये तो देखेंगे कि एक नया ऑब्जेक्ट का फॉर्मेशन होगा या नया सब्सटेंस फॉर्म करेगा, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ हम लोग इनमें से भी कोई ना कोई कैरेक्टर वहां पे हम लोगों को देखने को मिलेंगे। तो जहां पर कि या तो हम लोगों को चेंज इन द स्टेट देखने को मिलेगा, या तो कलर में चेंज दिखेगा, या हीट इवॉल्व होगा, या अब्सॉर्ब होगा, गैस इवॉल्व होगा, चेंज इन टेम्परेचर हो सकता है। इस तरह के फिनोमिना हम लोगों को देखने को मिलेंगे। ठीक है, तो ये सब बेसिक कैरेक्टर्स हैं और इन कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में ज्यादा डिटेल में फिर से जैसे कि हम पहले भी तुम लोगों को बताए हुए हैं कि हायर क्लासेस में तुम लोगों को और डिटेल में इनके बारे में बताया जाएगा, जहां पर कि अलग अलग एग्जाम्पल से हम लोग समझेंगे कि किस तरह से कहां पर चेंज इन द स्टेट होता है, किन किन कंडीशंस में चेंज इन कलर होता है, या कहां पर हीट इवॉल्व होता है, या कहां पर हीट एब्जॉर्ब होता है। इन सब चीजों को हम लोग आगे के चैप्टर्स में और साथ ही साथ हायर क्लासेस में और डिटेल फॉर्म में डिस्कस करेंगे। ठीक है, अब हम लोग डिस्कस करने वाले हैं नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, जिसको कि हम लोग यहाँ पे देखेंगे एज अ केमिकल इक्वेशन। So what is a chemical equation? How can we derive this chemical equation, and what are the things which we can go for a chemical equation? See, students, when we go for a chemical reaction, we know this thing that two or more different kinds of substances been combined together to form a new kind of substance. So when this is going on, then we need to represent it also. And when we are representing that system, that representation should be in a proper way. So the representation of a chemical reaction with the help of their symbols is called to be as a chemical equation. तो जब भी किसी भी तरह के केमिकल रिएक्शन को परफॉर्म किया जाता है, तो हम लोग ये ऑब्जर्व करते हैं कि दो या दो से ज्यादा तरह की चीजों को मिक्सअप किया गया केमिकली, और उससे एक या एक से ज्यादा अलग अलग तरह की चीजों का फॉर्मेशन हुआ है। तो उसको अगर हम लोग एक प्रॉपर तरीके से रिप्रेजेंट करें, अगर हम लोग प्रॉपर तरीके से उसको एक्सप्रेस करें, तो उस एक्सप्रेशन को केमिकल इक्वेशन बोला जाएगा। तो इसीलिए तुम लोग यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, एक सिंपल तरीके से हम यहाँ पर एक स्टेटमेंट दिए हुए हैं, where it can be said to be as the representation of the chemical reaction using symbols of the substances is called an chemical equation. So what is chemical equation? A chemical equation is just only the representation of a chemical reaction with the help of the symbols. Now this symbols can be for the elements used, it can be for the elements used or the compounds been used, चाहे वो एलिमेंट्स वहां पर इस्तेमाल हो रहे हैं या कंपाउंड्स इस्तेमाल हो रहे हैं। ये सब जो चीजें हैं, इन सब चीजों को जब सिंबॉलिक फॉर्म में दिखाया जाता है या सिंबॉलिक फॉर्म में पैटर्न में अरेंज किया जाता है, तो उसको हम लोग केमिकल इक्वेशन कहते हैं। ठीक है, उसी को थोड़ा सा एलॉबोरेट करके अगर हम लोग लिखना चाहते हैं या थोड़ा सा एलॉबोरेट करके अगर एक्सप्लेन करना चाहते हैं, तो उसको हम लोग इस तरह से बोल सकते हैं, अ केमिकल इक्वेशन इज द कंडीशन। जस्ट अ मिनट। Okay, yes. So a chemical equation is a, yes, there is then problem. Okay, तो इसी चीज के लिए बता रहे थे। So a chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formulas within the reaction. When a chemical reaction is going on, as just now I said that whenever we are mixing two or more different kinds of substances, then we go for this thing that that the components which have been used, either they are elements or the compounds, their symbols has to be written over there. That symbols representation is only going to explain the chemical equation. Okay, So whether in the reactant entire are given to the left side and the product entities on the right side with a plus sign between the entities in both the reactants and the product and an arrow that is pointed towards the product and shows the direction of the reaction. So this is a very important one which you can use to represent a chemical equation. तो इसको जैसे कि हम पहले ही बताएं ये एक elaborated form हो गया. तुम लोग अगर चाहो तो इसको सिंपल तरीके से भी लिख सकते हो इस तरह से कि the representation of a chemical reaction with the help of the symbols, that is also possible. Or you, if you want to go for a little bit elaboration to represent the chemical reaction with the help of symbols and the formula with the reactants to the left side and the product in the right side with the plus sign which shows that they have been combined together, and the arrow of the reaction which is showing that what reaction been produced to a product. So all these things can be represent over there. So that is also called to be as a chemical equation. So over here you can see a very simple example I had taken over here, that when CH4 is reacted with 2O2, then it gives as a product, so CO2 plus 2H2O. So this is a simple kind of compound which can be formed over here. So in this one, this is CH4 plus O2 is the reactant, means they've been combined together. And when they've been combined together, the product has been formed to the other side. So the carbon dioxide and the two molecules of water, this formation is the product over here. So this whole combination is said to be as a chemical equation. तो इस पूरे के पूरे combination को या इस पूरे के पूरे system को हम लोग क्या बोल सकते हैं, एक chemical equation बोल सकते हैं. तो जब हम लोग एक chemical equation के बारे में बात करते हैं, जब भी हम लोग एक representation of chemical equation के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो उसमें reactant side में एक column आएगा और फिर प्रोडक्ट साइड में एक कॉलम आएगा, और ये सभी चीजें मिलकर, ये सभी चीजें फॉर्म होते हुए हम लोगों के पास प्रोडक्ट का फॉर्मेशन बनता है. ठीक है. तो किसी भी केमिकल इक्वेशन को जब हम लोग लिखते हैं तो उसमें कई सारे बातों को ध्यान में रखने की जरूरत होती है. One thing you will come to know in your higher class, that how we can make a chemical equation more informative. Okay, so there you will see that the states been denoted. ठीक है. जब जब कोई रिएक्शन होता है तो वहां पर किस स्टेट में रिएक्टेंट्स हैं, किस स्टेट में प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, these things are also been written in a chemical equation, such as for example if you want to represent that solids been combined, so S will be written over there. If gas is used, then G will be used. If aqueous solution is there, then AQ will be used. So this shows the state of the reactants or the product produced. In the same way, we had understood in the previous column that in some kind of chemical reaction, light is required. So you need to write light over here. Okay. So you will write light over here. That light is a factor due to which the chemical reaction is performing, such as for the photosynthesis process. So light is an important factor over there. So you need to write light over here. In some chemical reactions, you need to put heat over there. So you will write heat over here. Okay. And that also the temperature can be mentioned in Kelvin. Say as for example, 300 Kelvin. Okay. So these kind of things can be written. In the same way, in some kind of chemical reaction, we used to observe that the heat been produced as a product. Okay. So at the end, you will write heat plus heat. It shows that heat has been produced out. In some kind of chemical reaction, we used to observe that gases used to evolve. So at the end, you need to put an arrow at the top side and you have to write, such as, for example, hydrogen gas gets evolved when you add acid with metal. So hydrogen gas evolves out. So an arrow will be at the top and this H2 will be written. So this shows that hydrogen gas been evolved out. In the same way, there are so many different kinds of methods. There are so many different kinds of components which are present to make a chemical equation more and more informative. Because see, chemical equation is nothing but it is the representation. So when a chemical reaction is going on, when a chemical reaction been performed, then we need to understand that that has to be expressed in a correct way. If we are not expressing the chemical reaction in a correct way, then we will not be able to identify its characters. We will not be able to study it in a proper way. So chemical equation need to be written with all the various kinds of information which is required to be written in that particular reaction. ओके तो जब भी हम लोग किसी भी तरह के केमिकल इक्वेशन को लिखते हैं, जब भी हम लोग किसी भी केमिकल इक्वेशन को प्रेजेंट करते हैं, तो हम लोगों को ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि उसको हम लोग एक सही तरीके से लिखें, सही तरीके से एक्सप्रेस करें, ताकि जो केमिकल रिएक्शन को वो रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है उसके बारे में हम लोगों को एग्जैक्ट नॉलेज हो जाए. Now, we are not going to discuss a lot on this one, but one important thing which I want to make you know for a chemical equation, that is a balanced chemical equation. वैसे तो बहुत कुछ है केमिकल इक्वेशन में हम लोगों को पढ़ने के लिए, और फिर से जैसे कि पहले भी हम रिपीट किए हुए हैं कि हम लोग हायर क्लासेस में उसको और अच्छे से डिस्कस करेंगे. अभी के लिए तुम लोगों को ये चीज तो जानना चाहिए कि अ केमिकल इक्वेशन मस्ट बी बैलेंस्ड. We must use or we must write any equation in a balanced form. हम लोग को बैलेंस्ड फॉर्म में ही किसी भी इक्वेशन को लिखना चाहिए. अगर हम लोग बैलेंस्ड फॉर्म में नहीं लिख रहे हैं, then it is completely wrong. Now, what does this balanced form means? How can we judge, or how can we say that a given equation is balanced or not? So very simple way you can identify that one, that when the numbers of reactants are equal to the number of the products been produced, then we used to observe, or then we can say that the given equation is a balanced. Okay. तो जब हम लोग देखते हैं कि रिएक्टेंट साइड में जो कंपोनेंट इस्तेमाल हो रहे हैं वो नंबर प्रोडक्ट साइड में भी मौजूद हैं, तब हम लोग उसको क्या बोल सकते हैं कि वो एक बैलेंस्ड केमिकल इक्वेशन है. फिर से बता रहे हैं कि इफ द नंबर ऑफ रिएक्टेंट्स इज इक्वल्स टू द नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस्ड, if they are equal to each other, then under that circumstance, or under that condition, we can easily say that it's a balanced chemical equation. तो बैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशन क्या होता है, फिर से बता रहे हैं, when the total amount of the reactant used is equals to the total amount of the product produced, that is called to be as a balanced chemical equation. So in a equation form, जब हम लोग एक इक्वेशन के फॉर्म में उसको लिख रहे हैं, तब दोनों साइड में मेरे पास क्वांटिटी सेम होना चाहिए. ये ध्यान देने की बात है. जैसे कि हम लोग सिंपल तरीके से अगर एक इक्वेशन लिखते हैं H2 plus O gives H2O, तो यहां पर अगर देखते हैं रिएक्टेंट साइड में हाइड्रोजन का 2 एटॉम्स है और ऑक्सीजन का 1 एटॉम है. दूसरे साइड में अगर हम लोग देखते हैं प्रोडक्ट के केस में, देन हियर आल्सो वी आर हैविंग 2 एटॉम्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एंड वी आर हैविंग 1 एटॉम ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. इट मींस दैट इट इज सेटिस्फाइड ओवर हियर. So this equation can be said to be as a balanced chemical equation. So here you can see I had given some examples over here. There are numerous examples which we will understand also, and we will learn how to make a equation balance also. Okay, not in this particular chapter, but in coming chapters we will understand that how we can make a given equation balanced. Okay, so if that is not been balanced, we can identify it and we can make it balanced also. So over here you can see that the three examples which I had used. Over here you can easily identify that the number of atoms been used for each element on both the sides are equal in number. So when they are equal in number, it means that they are representing a balanced chemical equation. And one of the law which you are going to understand in chemistry, that is the law of conservation of mass. This balanced chemical equation is necessary to satisfy that law. ठीक है, हम लोगों ने केमिस्ट्री में ये पहले पढ़ा हुआ है कि atoms can't be created nor be destroyed. Okay, so while a chemical reaction goes on, or while a chemical reaction takes place between two or more different kinds of substances, over there We need to understand this thing that atoms doesn't destroyed over there, or they doesn't get created over there, but they undergo some kind of change. They can be converted from one form to another form. They can be combined with one to another, but they will not change its mass over there. Means its number can't be changed over there. It is not possible that the atoms can be increased over there or the atoms can be decreased over there. It is not possible. Okay, so this basic concept been understood by the law of conservation of mass, where it says, according to the law of conservation of mass, it says that the mass of the reactant is equals to the mass of the product. Okay, so the mass of the reactant used is equals to mass of the product produced. And this phenomena or this particular statement can be established with the help of this equation. Why it is so? It is because as much as the reactant been used, that many of the product should be produced over there. So if this quantity is equals to this quantity, then we can easily identify, or then we can easily say that the law of conservation of mass is correct, or that has been satisfied. So these are the things which you need to remember regarding this one. So this was the last topic of your chapter. So if there is any doubt or any confusion, you can ask now. Yes, students. Do anyone is having any question? Anything you want to clarify? Anything you want to know on these topics, whatever we had discussed till now? हम लोगों ने जहां तक अभी तक डिस्कस किया है.
So can you explain the fourth topic again?
Fourth topic, which one? Pardon, can you please tell me?
Yes, so never change the formula of a compound, only coefficient should be
Okay,
added.
okay. See, this actually this is the rule. This is the rule which we use to follow while we make a chemical equation balanced. Okay, so suppose a question been provided to us. Suppose a question is given, such as for example this one. If I write this one as a question like this, suppose हम इस question को थोड़ा सा change कर देते हैं. CH4 plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. ठीक है, यहां पे देखो ये वाला ये इक्वेशन आ गया मेरे पास. अब अगर हम लोग इस इक्वेशन को लेते हैं और इस इक्वेशन को हमको बोला जा रहा है कि सेटिस्फाई करना है, मींस चेक करना है कि वेदर इट इज अ बैलेंस्ड और नॉट. Okay, so let's see first that whether it is balanced or not. So when we see for this one, so over here in the reactant side, carbon is 1, hydrogen is 4, and oxygen is 2. Now let's see to the product side. Let's move to the product side. So in the product side, we have carbon as 1. Okay, it matches. The hydrogen is 2 over here, and the oxygen is 3 over here. Okay, so we can easily see this thing that these are mismatching over here. Hydrogen is mismatching and oxygen is mismatching. So we can easily say that, oh, my equation is is not balanced. Okay, so how could I balance it out? How could I balance it out? So to make it balance, I need to put numbers over here. So where do I will put numbers? Always remember, we can put only the numbers at the front side. Okay, means the coefficient side. So coefficient side means at the front one. So we can put numbers at the front side only, not at the bottom. Okay, so over here, if I will put, say as here it is 2 hydrogen and here it is 4 hydrogen. So if I need to make this 2 as 4, then I need to put 2 over here. So I will give 2 this place. So as soon as I had provided 2 over here, what happens to the other side? It becomes 4. To the other side, it becomes 4. So this got matched with this one. But a problem has created that this side now oxygen is 4. This side to the other side, the oxygen became 4. But this side we have only 2. So what can I do for that one? So if I will place a 2 over here, then this 2 into 2 will change this one into 4. Now this and this also got matched. So now my LHS is equals to RHS. Hence now I can say that this is a balanced chemical equation. Okay.
Yes, understood.
Okay, so we will learn. I will go for a particular class where we will see for how to make equation balance. Okay, so I will give questions, and with that questions we all will go for the solution that how can we make them balance. So this is a very important topic in chemistry, that to making an equation balance. Okay, so whenever we are having an equation, it should be balanced form, otherwise it will be wrong. Yes. Is there any other doubt? Anyone? Do anyone is having any other problem anywhere till here? Whatever we had discussed, I had shared the last video also. So if you all had gone through that one also, if you are getting any kind of problem, or if you are having any question in any of the topics which we had discussed, or if anything I had left it out, which is present in your book, then you can feel free to ask. Yes. No. No problem. Yes, students? No one is having any
No,
doubt.
no, sir.
Okay, okay then. Okay, just a minute. Then for chemistry, I will end up over here only. Then for chemistry, I will end up. Mm, 1 minute.